Good morning, students. Our today's topic is Ohm's law. Till now, we discussed about current, that flow of charge through a conductor is current, and potential difference means which causes the flow of current in a circuit. Now, let us discuss that is there any relationship between the potential difference across a conductor and the current through it. As we know, if potential difference exists in the circuit, only then current can flow through it. So, is it any dependence or any relationship between potential difference applied and the flowing current through it? For that, in 1827, a German physicist, German Simon Ohm, found out the relationship between the current I flowing in a metallic wire and potential difference across its terminals. For this, let us discuss activity 12.1. We will take a circuit, and in this circuit we will take a nichrome wire, as nichrome wire is an alloy of nickel, chromium, manganese and iron metals, and we know that metals are best conductors for passage of current, and alloys, these are the mixing of metals, so they are not so good conductors as compared to metals, but still they are good as compared to insulators. Then we complete the circuit by adding ammeter, a key and cell in this circuit. We apply a voltmeter across this nichrome wire. So this voltmeter is giving us the potential difference between these two points, two end points of this nichrome wire, and this ammeter will tell us the amount of current flowing through the circuit. Now, as we have taken these cells, one by one we will join each cell in the circuit, and then we will notice the reading in voltmeter and ammeter. So in first case, we will take one cell in the circuit, means we will join this line here with this cell. These all three cells are out of the circuit, so they are not playing any role in the circuit, and we have connected the circuit with this terminal. So only one cell is acting in this cell, only one cell is applying potential difference in this circuit. So when we connect one cell, we will notice the value shown by voltmeter, and we will notice the value shown by ammeter. Voltmeter is telling about the potential difference across the ends of nichrome wire, and ammeter is telling about the amount of current passing through this wire, because it is telling about the current through the circuit, and same current is flowing through the circuit, so the same current is flowing through this nichrome wire or this circuit. Now we will connect this terminal with this point. By connecting this, now two cells are in our circuit. Now two cells are playing role in producing potential difference. Again we will notice the potential difference and the current through these instruments, voltmeter and ammeters. Now in third step, we will connect this wire with this point, and now these three cells are playing role, they are producing potential difference in the circuit. Again we will notice the value of this voltmeter and the value of ammeter shown, and in fourth step, we will connect this wire at this point. By doing this, these all 4 cells are in the circuit now. These 4 cells are producing potential difference, and due to which current is flowing through the circuit. Again we will notice the value of potential difference from the voltmeter and amount of current from the ammeter. We prepare this table and then we will find the ratio of potential difference with the current. So we find that in each case the ratio of V and I is same. Like here we have taken some values, and according to these values it is 15, 15, 15 and 15. So by doing this experiment we came to know that for each circuit and for this same wire and this whole components are same, if we are increasing the potential difference across the ends of the conductor, we find that the current is also increasing proportionally because their ratio is same. And we give the name of this constant ratio as R, that is resistance. Now we get this table, and if by using this table we draw a graph by taking potential difference on x-axis and current on y-axis, then we find this straight line graph. So in the graph, straight line through this graph is actually passing through the origin, and ohmic conductors which follow Ohm's law, they show this straight line graph which passes through this origin, and this straight line through the origin tells us that current is directly proportional to voltage. Voltage means potential difference. The ratio of V by I is constant, as we have seen in table also, and is equal to resistance in the circuit. Very important question. Slope of VI graph tells about the resistance of the conducting wire. Important question, that what does slope of VI graph in Ohm's law tells about? So it tells about resistance of the conducting wire. Now here the term is introduced, that is resistance. So let us discuss about resistance. First of all, Ohm's law's definition, very important definition. It comes of 1 mark in exam, and you have to write it carefully, that Ohm's law states that electric current flowing through a metallic wire is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends, provided means there is a condition, that is its temperature remains the same, that the temperature of the conductor remains same. If temperature varies, due to which its resistance will change, and this graph which we get straight line graph, we will not get straight line graph in that case. That's why this condition is very important, and if you are writing this definition in exam, then you should write it this condition also, otherwise your half mark will be deducted. It's very important that temperature should remain constant, all physical conditions should remain same, only then the current is directly proportional to the potential difference. Directly proportional means if we are increasing the potential difference, then the current is also increasing automatically. Or we can say V by I. If we will bring I here, so it will be V over I. So we have to apply a constant, that constant is R. So V is equal to IR. This is the formula of Ohm's law. Very important formula. A lot of numericals we have to solve based on this formula. Here R is constant for given metallic wire at a given temperature and is called its resistance. Now let us discuss what is resistance. So resistance is a property of a conductor to resist the flow of charges through it. Means a conductor have a property to oppose the flow of charges through it. Why a conductor oppose the flow of charge through it? This depends on the nature of the conductor, but as we know that the motion of electrons in an electric circuit constitute an electric current. We discussed it earlier also. And the electrons, however, are not completely free to move through the conductor because there are a lot of other atoms, there are a lot of other electrons, there are collisions of these moving electrons with these atoms and electrons, due to which they are restrained by the attraction of atoms among which they move. This motion of electrons through a conductor is retarded by this resistance or by this opposition. And if more is the restraint, more is the opposition, more is the collisions, more will be the resistance of that particular conductor. Now, according to Ohm's law, R is equal to V by I, because V is equal to IR, so we will bring I here, so R equal to V by I. SI unit of resistance is ohm, as we discussed earlier that it is discovered by scientist Simon Ohm. So on the name of the scientist, its unit's name is given ohm. Also we can write the other SI unit of this, that R equal to V by I. V is volt and I is in ampere. So it is also written as volt per ampere. If the potential difference around the two ends of the wire is 1 volt and the current flowing through the wire is 1 ampere, then the resistance of the wire is said to be 1 ohm. So important definition that define 1 ohm. You have to just learn this formula and you can write the definition yourself. Now, factors on which resistance depends. For this, we will discuss activity 12.2 and activity 12.3. In this activity, we will again take a circuit. We apply a battery, a key, ammeter in series of this circuit, and we will leave these 2 points X and Y open so that we can fix different type of conductors between these 2 points to close the circuit, to notice their behavior. Now first of all, we will join this nichrome wire between these X and Y terminal. As this circuit is closed, and now current will start flowing through the circuit, and the current flow through the positive through the circuit from positive and to negative, that is from higher potential to the lower potential. Now we will notice the amount of current flowing through the circuit through this ammeter. Again we will take out this nichrome wire and we will fix a 10 watt bulb between these 2 points. Again when we fix this bulb in this, and then current will start flowing through this circuit from higher potential to lower potential. In third case, again we will put a torch bulb between these XY points, and again we will notice the amount of current flowing through the circuit. And we can take some more materials also. We fix these materials between X and Y point, and we notice the amount of current flowing through the circuit with the help of this ammeter. So what we will observe? We will observe that the current is different for different components. So it proves that as different components have different resistance, different length, different materials, so because of different resistance, the current in the circuit is different. Also, we will do activity 12.3 for the same reason, to know that on which factors this resistance depends. For this, we will take a nichrome wire of length L and we will fix this nichrome wire between X and Y points. We will notice the amount of current in the emitter. Now in next step, we will take nichrome wire having same thickness but double the length as the prior. Again we will notice the amount of current passing through the circuit with the help of this ammeter. Now in third case, we will take a nichrome wire having the same length as in the first case but double the thickness. Again we will notice the amount of current. And in fourth step, in comparison of nichrome wire, we will take a copper wire having same length and same thickness as we have taken nichrome wire in first case. And then again we will notice the amount of current through the ammeter. So by doing this activity, what will be our observations? So our observations will be that when we have taken nichrome wire, then amount of current was suppose some value, and when we take nichrome wire of double length, then amount of current in the ammeter was reduced. And in third case, we have taken nichrome wire having more thickness, then amount of current through this ammeter was increased. And when we took copper wire between these terminals, then the amount of current was more as compared to when we take this nichrome wire between these two terminals. So by these observations, what we noticed, that if material of the conductors were changed, like we were taking nichrome wire or in some case we were taking copper wire, in that case the current was changed. As we say that copper is a good conductor of electricity, so it allows much current to pass through the circuit because its resistance is less, and that's why more current was shown by the ammeter. But in case of nichrome wire, it opposes the flow of current, so less amount of current passes through the circuit and less current was shown by the ammeter. Secondly, when we increase the length of the nichrome wire, in that case also we have noticed that the amount of current was reduced, because more is the length of the conductor, more is the length the electrons, or we can say charged particles, has to cover, and more is the hindrance, opposition of flow of that charged particles, and less will be the amount of current flowing through the conductor, and less will be the current shown by the ammeter. And when we took thick wire means area of cross section for passage of charged particles is more, so the amount of current was more number of charged particles were flowing through the conductor. More the number of charged particles, more is the amount of current, and that's why more current was shown by the ammeter. So we can summarize these factors, that factors on which resistance depends. It depends on length of the wire, area of cross section, nature of material, and temperature of the material. So we can say that resistance is directly proportional to the length of the wire. More is the length of wire, more will be resistance, less will be the amount of current flowing through the circuit. Resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. More is the area of cross section, less will be resistance, more will be amount of current flowing through the conductor. It depends upon material of the conductor. If as in the last activity we discussed the comparison of copper wire and nichrome wire. So better conductor allow more current to passes through it, and it offer less resistance, and directly proportional to the temperature of the material. Okay, if temperature increases, the resistance of metals increases, because number of collisions of charged particles passing through the conductor increases due to increase of temperature, and that's why resistance increases and amount of current decreases. That's why it is suggested while doing these practicals that we should take out key. After taking one reading, take out key and notice the readings, and again fix the key and notice another reading. So again and again we are taking out key, or we are switching off our circuit, so that the temperature of our circuit should not increase, due to which its resistance should not change. Now we can write it in this way. This is R proportional to L by A according to this theory. And as we will remove this proportionality sign, we will apply a constant. That constant is rho. Rho is resistivity. This is constant of proportionality. It is resistivity, and it is the characteristic property of the material. Its another name is specific resistance. In some books you will read this name also. So resistivity and specific resistance are the same things. Now definition of resistivity, that the resistivity of a substance is numerically equal to resistance of a rod of that substance which is 1 meter long and 1 square meter in cross section. Means if in this formula, if we place L equal to 1 meter and A equal to 1 meter square, then R is equal to rho. So we can define rho is equal to R if L is 1 and A equal to 1. So in this way we have defined its definition. So we can write it accordingly, that is rho equal to R into A by L. As unit of R is ohm, unit of area is meter square, and unit of length is meter. So what will be SI unit of resistivity? We will simply write ohm into meter square divided by meter. So meter square will cancel, the square of this meter will cancel with the meter, and we get rho is equal to ohm meter. SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Very important point, that resistivity depends upon nature of material and temperature only. It does not depend upon length and thickness. Many students do this mistake, that as we write the formula, that what are the factors on which resistance depends, and by this formula they simply say that resistance depends upon resistivity, length, area. No doubt it's correct, but if question comes that what are the factors on which resistivity depends, so they used to do the same type in resistivity, and they used to say that resistivity depends upon resistance, area and length, which is wrong. So forget it while writing the factors on which resistivity depends. Resistivity is characteristic property of material. If you are taking a small piece of a copper wire, or you are taking a very long wire of same copper wire, the resistivity of these both objects will remain same, because it depends upon nature of material. No doubt resistivity of copper is different than the resistivity of aluminum or silver or any other material, but resistivity of copper wire, whether you are making a small piece or you are making a cylinder or you are making a square or whatever you are making, the resistivity of that copper will remain same. Now students get confused between resistivity and resistance. So resistivity is the characteristic intrinsic property of a material, but resistance is the property of a conductor. Conductor means that you are using copper wire. If you are making a small wire from it, suppose you are making a thin wire, its thickness is less. Another wire, thick wire, its thickness is more. So their resistivity same but resistance different, because their thickness is different, their area of cross section is different. In the same way, if you are making a small copper wire or you are making a large copper wire, you are changing the length, resistance different in both cases, but resistivity is same. So always keep it in mind that resistivity and resistance are two different things. Resistivity of substances. Conductors like metals and alloys have low resistivity, and insulators have very high resistivity. Substances with low resistivity are better conductors of electricity than those have high resistivity. This is a table given in your book on page number 207. You can compare that materials having these have less resistivity, these are good conductors. Alloys have resistivity more as compared to insulators, but less as compared more as compared to less as compared to insulators, but more as compared to conductors, and insulators have very large resistivity. Now these are solved examples that how much current will an electric bulb draw from 220 volt source. If means you have to find current from current question mark and potential difference 220 volt, and resistance of bulb is given 1200 ohm. And how much current will an electric heater coil draw from this same source if resistance of heater coil is 100 ohm? So these are two questions. In first part, V given, R given, and we have to find I. Simply we will write the formula, Ohm's law formula, and we will find the answer. Now in another case, this potential difference is same, because in this question that we have to use same source means potential difference is 220 volt, and this current is given. We have the current I equal to 2.2, we have to find. Note the difference of current drawn by electric bulb and electric heater from the same source. So what you have noticed, that current drawn by this is less, by the bulb is less, and this heater is more. In this way you can do this another solved example. Do this solved example in a rough notebook, no need to write in your fair notebook. Now in this example, this is based on the factors on which resistivity depends, and as we know the formula that R equal to rho A by L. Here I want to tell, it is not given in your book, that from this formula we get this formula. How? Because R is resistance, A is area of cross section of the wire. Area of cross section can be written as pi r square, because area of a circle, and pi r square, r is radius of that circle. And if we write it in terms of diameter, then diameter by 2 is equal to radius. So d by 2 square. So it will be pi d square by 4. We will put this value in this formula, and in this way we get this formula. We simply take the values and we put the values and do the calculations and find the answer. Here it is given that 1 meter is 20 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius, 26 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius. So 20 degrees Celsius, here we need not to use this value. Now in 12.6, again the question is, a 4 ohm resistance wire is doubled on it. Doubled on it means that means we have to increase its thickness. As we increase its thickness, so its length is halved automatically, and by this we will do length as half and area is twice, and again we will do the calculations and we will find the answer. These are the blueprint questions. I have given solution of these blueprint questions in your notes also. On what factor does the resistance of conductor depends? Already done. Which will the current flow more easily through a thick or a thin wire? Thick wire have less resistance, more current. So in this way you will do the answer. Let the resistance of an electrical component remains constant. Potential difference decreases to half. If potential difference is half, what will be change in current? If R is same, if V is half, then current will be half. Why coil of electric toaster and electric irons made of an alloy? Hanji, alloy. Alloy, as we have discussed in table also, these have more resistivity as compared to the conductors. So more the resistivity. In our other topics we will discuss that more will be the heat produced. So in electric toasters our requirement is more heat. So we will write the answer that alloys have more resistivity, so they produce more heat. Therefore we use we use alloy in making electric toaster and electric irons. And secondly, as alloys have high melting point, they do not oxidize at low points, low temperatures. Next is they do not melt at high temperatures. And next is use the data. So you will use the data and you will tell that which is better conductor. You will compare iron and mercury and which material is best conductor. So by the table you can compare and you will write the answers.